way back in Old Testament times, right, when our forefathers swore an oath, they didn't put their hand on the Bible because these were Bible times and the Bible hadn't been written yet. They put their hand on their testicles or on the testicles of the person they were swearing with, and they said, I swear on your sex. And later it became swearing on the Bible. The Testament comes from testicles. So remember that when you testify, brother. Yeah!
That was a clip from Missionary Positions, a documentary about XXXchurch.com.
Is that true story?
One of the co-founders of the website is with me now, Pastor Craig Gross. Welcome. And with him is from Grand Rapids, Michigan, is world-famous porn star Ron Jeremy. Hi, guys. We're back here. Craig, let me ask you this question. You're getting in trouble from both sides. Christians feel that you are putting things too far out there. You're soiling your message about Jesus loving porn stars. How do you respond to that kind of contingent of Christians?
You know what? Right now I have a pornographer at my house, so they're probably really upset by that one. But, you know, to me, what Ron does for a living in porn, it's his work. And why do we write people off for the job that they do or what they choose to watch? You know, to me, Jesus loved everybody. He loves me as much as he loves Ron, so and the rest of the gang. So I think it would discredit my whole faith in what I believe if I said, no, I'll just stand outside of these conventions and talk to the people. But I don't know if I can go there. Jesus hung out with more people that he called, you know, the sick or the lost than he did the righteous religious that thought they were so healthy.
That's one thing to maybe hang out with him. Another thing to put a giant penis up to advertise Jesus. Isn't that a bit much, Craig?
Well, you know, it's taken out of context, just like, you know, Christians love to take things out of context. We are very creative in our approach. We go to several churches, hundreds of churches throughout the year, and we spread our message. We use the Bible, and we show a couple different videos. When we go to a porn show, we're competing with million-dollar booths. You know, porn stars, celebrities, rock stars. So we've got a little small booth. We have to be really creative. We hand out Bibles that say Jesus loves porn stars one year. That's our latest. We've asked people to stop looking at porn before, and we did that by having Wally the Wiener. He happened to be a 25-foot character that kind of resembled that of a penis. But to me, it was a fun kind of challenge. Everyone walked over to our booth going, what is with the 25-foot that thing? And we said, well, Wally is asking you to stay away from porn for 7 days. And we gave away gifts. If people would just, you know, stop looking at porn for 7 days, and people responded in a sense of, hey, I'll try it. You know, one of the signs of addiction is you can't stop. So I'll do anything short of sin to get this message out. Whether people like it or not, I'm not going to apologize for it. And after all, I'm at a porn show. It didn't offend anybody to have a character-looking thing like a penis.
Well, you even said that the porn people are at least consistent with freedom of speech because they give you your right to have a booth whenever you want it, and you're welcome at the adult shows. Sure, a lot more than I'd be welcomed in church. But am I correct? You said that we aren't a freedom of speech. And by the way, I see a certain inconsistency. You said to me in our last couple of debates that you don't tell people what to do. If they feel that porn has been uncomfortable with them, bad for them, addictive to them, or if the girls in the business have had problems, they come to you and then you minister to them. You said you don't approach people and saying, don't watch porn, stop watching porn. You say, I can't cause the business to slow down or stop because it's a multi-billion-dollar business. But now you're saying to me that you're saying to the gentleman here that you do actually approach people and saying, stop watching porn. If you do this, stop watching porn, you get whatever for 7 days. No, you told me that you don't approach people and say, don't.
We don't
solicit them to stop
we don't
watching
approach
porn.
people to get out of the business. When we're at a porn show, people wonder, what are pastors doing at a porn show? And we say, you know what, we don't believe in pornography, and we're here to help you if you want to stop looking at porn. So one of the things is people go, people are always up for a challenge. So here we are. Think about the funny factor of that. We're at a porn show asking someone to stop looking at porn. It's kind of a joke. So and then we tell people, you know what, you can wait till Monday because we get it that you're here. And then it's like a challenge. It's not, hey, you know, I'm pulling you over here and you have to do this. It was, we had whistles and we had referee jerseys, and it was kind of one of this, we signed your name up on a list if you wanted to try it. And people, what we found, especially a lot of women, would say to their boyfriend or their husband, you can't go without porn. You know, and guys are like hell, I'm going to try it. You know, I'm going to try and do that. And so it's just part of that. Hey, we want to be creative. We want to have fun with people, engage people in conversation. Those conversations at that show that year were, why would I want to stop? and we would
Right.
kind of say, you know, here's what we think.
Hey, Ron, let me ask you this question. If you had a daughter, would you let her be a porn star? Would you encourage her in that? What would you say to her?
Oh, I don't know.
Most girls in porn have not had a lot of college. You know, and look, there is a double standard. I've done porn. We know this. And the double standard is not good. We don't like that it exists, but it exists because parents raise their kids unequally. You raise your son to go get and make your dad proud. You raise your daughter, don't you dare. That's why a lot of men in porn brag and everyone gives them the thumbs up. And often the girls sometimes don't tell their relatives. So it's unfair that is this double standard. So it's a lot easier if a son does it than a daughter. However, if, you know, a lot of college graduates of girls in porn, and it's been a great way for girls who might be working at McDonald's or some unskilled labor making $1 million. Jenna's got $17 million. She would not have had that without porn. So you're going to tell Jenna Jameson to give back her money and throw it in the wind?
No, your daughter,
McDonald's?
Ron. Your daughter.
Now, my daughter.
We're talking about your daughter.
Just say no.
Hold on, 'cause if she
You
went
want to
through
see her on screen, Ron?
It's not my first choice for her to do that.
Not your first choice. That's not even a choice, man.
Hold on. If she's been through college, you know, chances are that wouldn't be her choice because most girls in porn have not had college. But if she really wanted to do it, I would hope as she turns 18, she'd do it in a clever, smart way, work maybe just with her own boyfriend, you know, do maybe the better scenes and more dialogue going on.
I love that. Can you do the better scenes, please?
Metro films, not necessarily some of the nastier scenes. That's all. I mean, it's not my first choice, but I certainly wouldn't forbid it at age 18, you know?
Wow. One final segment with my guests after this break.